Exfoliation is one of the best things you can do for dark spots. It's also one of the fastest ways to create new ones. The difference isn't the product though, it's how you use it. So let me give you the answer up front. Using a gentle acid one night a week while applying sunscreen every morning and having the discipline and patience to do it consistently, that's the method. And I know that answer sounds too simple to be the whole story, which is exactly why the rest of this video exists. Because the reason that boring answer beats the stronger stuff is the part no one tells us. And it's the difference between fading dark spots and making them. Hi, I'm Dana, skincare educator and founder of Beauty in Color. I help Black women understand their skin, build better routines, and age intentionally. Today, we're covering what exfoliation actually does for your skin, which type is right for us, how often to use it, and the warning signs that mean you've crossed the line, plus what to do if you already have. Let's start with what this step actually does, because exfoliation has a big reputation and the job underneath is simple. Your skin is constantly making new cells and shedding old ones. As we get older, that shedding slows down, so dead cells sit on the surface longer. That buildup leaves your skin looking dull, feeling rough, and it can hold onto discoloration at the surface. Exfoliation is what helps clear that layer away. And here's the thing about it. This is one of the few skincare steps where you can see a difference fast. And when I say that, I mean smoother skin the same night. Your makeup will sit better the next morning. Almost everything else in skincare asks you for weeks of patience, and this one pays off right away, which is exactly why it's the easiest step in your whole routine to overdo. So let me give you a better way to think about this step. Exfoliation is not a step at all. It's a dose. You use a cleanser every day. You use a moisturizer every day. But an exfoliant is more like medicine. The right amount can help. More than that doesn't help more. It hurts. Think of it like sanding a wood floor. A light pass brings up the finish, but if you keep sanding the same spot because the first pass looks so good, you'll go straight through the surface you were trying to polish. Now, why am I making a whole video about this for Black women specifically? Because for us, overdoing it doesn't just cost comfort, it costs marks. Most of the dark spots women tell me about didn't just come from a breakout. They came from the scrub or the acid that was supposed to smooth things out and fix them. Not because the product was bad, but because they overdid it. And irritation in our skin doesn't go away quietly. As I always say, it leaves a mark. Here's the short version of why. When you exfoliate past what your skin can handle, that's barrier damage. And barrier damage shows up as inflammation. And in melanin-rich skin, inflammation triggers our pigment cells to answer fast and generously. I break down that whole mechanism in a separate video on dark spots in case you want to learn more. But the lesson is relevant today because in our skin, irritation and dark spots are the same conversation. And this isn't just my opinion. The American Academy of Dermatology says it directly. If you have a darker skin tone, avoid strong exfoliation, chemical or physical, because aggressive exfoliation can end in new dark spots. Gentler is not the beginner setting we graduate out of. For us, gentle is the whole strategy with our skincare routine. So let's choose your exfoliant. There are two families. There's chemical, which are ingredients that loosen the bonds holding dead skin cells, so they let go on their own. And then there's physical, which is anything that works by friction. So think of your scrubs, brushes, and those little grainy polishes. And here's a physical exfoliant most of us miss. If you use a washcloth or a disposable face towel every day, that's already a little exfoliation. It's gentle, but it counts. Hold on to that because doses add up and we're coming back to it. I'm gonna say something that might change how you see a product you own. For our skin, gentle chemical exfoliation is generally the safer lane. Here's why. A scrub adds a variable no one's measuring, and that variable is your hands. Pressure, speed, that one extra pass on your cheek. A chemical exfoliant at a set strength is a dose you can actually control. A scrub is a dose that changes with your mood. If you love yours, it's not banned, it just stops being the default. Within the acids, think of a ladder and start at the bottom. Down there, you've got mandelic acid, along with its even gentler cousins, the polyhydroxy acids. Mandelic is nearly twice the size of glycolic, which means it moves into the skin slowly. And slow is what keeps irritation down. And in the studies that actually include deeper skin tones, the gentler acids held their own against the stronger ones for evening skin tone with less irritation. So gentle isn't the compromise here. Gentle is how you get the results without the marks. The middle of the ladder is lactic acid, still on the gentler side with some hydration built in. And at the top is glycolic. It's the strongest and fastest of the common acids, and for us, the least forgiving. I'm not telling you glycolic is off limits. I use it. But I am telling you it's the acid you earn your way up to, not the one you start with. One more lane. If your concern is oil and clogged pores, salicylic acid is the one that works inside the pore, not just on the surface. Different job, same dose rules. And if you remember my cleansing video, I mentioned exfoliating cleansers and promised to cover them here. An acid in a cleanser is the shortest possible dose because it rinses off in under a minute. That makes it one of the gentlest ways to start. It also makes it sneaky because a lot of brightening cleansers are exfoliants that don't announce themselves. Hold on to that too because it's about to matter. Now the number everyone wants. How often? I'd recommend starting with one night a week. That's it. One night with the gentlest thing on the ladder. And stay there for 2 full weeks before you change anything. Then let your skin decide. If it stayed calm and comfortable for those first 2 weeks, you can try a second night. For a lot of us, twice a week is the ceiling, not the floor. The label might say daily, but the label was not written for your face. Your skin outranks the bottle every time. So what does your skin deciding no actually look like? There are 5 signs. Stinging when you apply products that never used to sting, tightness that moisturizer doesn't settle, a shiny, tight look that is not the same thing as healthy, warmth in your cheeks after you rinse, and in our skin, watch for new darkening or an ashy rough patch where you've been exfoliating. Any of those, and the answer is fewer doses. 2 rules that ride along with this. First, if you use retinol, know that retinol is not an exfoliant. It works differently. And when you're starting out, exfoliating nights and retinol nights should not be the same night. I have a whole separate video on retinol if you're building that in. Second, and this one is not optional, an exfoliating routine without a daily sunscreen is not a brightening routine. It's a spot-making one. These acids may make your skin more sun sensitive while you use them, and for about a week after you stop. So that's not me being cautious for sport. The FDA asks brands to print a sunburn alert on these products. So if you exfoliate at night, you have to wear sunscreen in the morning. That's the whole contract. So let me tell you how I learned the ceiling. I currently exfoliate about twice a week now, but I didn't arrive at that number gracefully. Exfoliation shows you a result, and I chased it. One night made my skin look smoother and brighter, so I figured more nights meant more smoothness and brightness. I kept going until my face was red, irritated, and honestly felt like it was burning. With my sensitive eczema-prone skin, I had to stop completely. Everything paused. I went all the way back to the basics, and I had to rebuild slowly. The immediate result is a trap. The better it works tonight, the more you'll want it tomorrow. And tomorrow is exactly when your skin needs you to leave it alone. Second mistake, and it's the sneaky one. Stacking doses without realizing it. A brightening cleanser plus an acid toner plus a weekly mask is 3 exfoliants. And if you're using a face towel with any real pressure every night, that's riding along it too. You never take 3 doses of the same medicine and call it 1. Go count yours. 3, seeing a dark spot and exfoliating at it harder to fade it faster. I understand the logic, and it's backwards. The extra irritation you create can deepen the exact spot you're working on. Fading dark spots has its own routine, and I built that whole video for you already. It's linked below. And if you're watching this thinking that red burning stage is where I am right now, stop all of it. Every acid, every scrub, today. Your skin needs barrier repair before it can handle another dose of anything, and I have a separate video that walks you through that exactly. So if you take one thing from today, let it be this. Exfoliation works, but for our skin, the win comes from the smallest dose that still works. There's a name for that, the minimum effective dose. The right amount can help fade dark spots, but anything past it is how they start. So here's some homework for you to do tonight. Go count your exfoliating products, cleansers, toners, serums, masks, and the scrubs hiding in your shower. If the number surprises you, that might be your answer. And tell me in the comments, honestly, how often are you exfoliating right now? No judgment. I told you my story. And if you're not just trying to prevent dark spots, but you've got some you're already working on, that's its own routine, and I've got you covered. I made a whole video on exactly how to fade them, and that's the one I'd watch next. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss what we cover next. I am so glad you're here, and I will see you next week.